My phone still glows at 2 a.m. like it used to when you call. Drunk on something, missing me, saying you give up your all. I listen to you breathing through the static and the miles, falling deeper into you with every word, with every smile. Those hours felt like sacred space, a world where only we existed. Time stood still while we talked on, before the distance insisted. Late night calls, I still wait for them, even though I know you won't ring. Late night calls, I still wait for them. The way your voice will make me sing. Now my phone sits dark and silent, no more ringing in the dark. Late night calls were our religion, now there's nothing left to spark. I saw your name on someone else's phone at a party 3 a.m. She stepped outside to take your call, and my heart broke all over again. I guess you found somebody new to keep you up at night, somebody else to tell your secret, to hold you in the fading light. Late night calls, I still wait for them, even though I know you won't ring. Late night calls, I still wait for them. The way your voice will make me sing. Maybe someday I'll delete your number, maybe someday I'll move on, but the hours between midnight and morning will always feel like you're not gone. Will always feel like you belong. Late night calls, I'm saying goodbye to the sound of your voice in the dark. Late night calls, I'll survive, but I'll always remember the spark. Of late night calls, late night calls. We stood at the airport gate like 1,000 times before, but this time felt different. This time felt like war. You weren't coming back to me, you weren't getting on the plane. This was the final boarding call, this was the painful goodbye. The pain. I watched you walk through security, watched you disappear into a crowd of strangers. I wanted you to hear me screaming out your name, me begging you to stay, but my voice was frozen. Painful goodbye had its way. You didn't even turn around, you didn't even wave. You just kept walking forward, heading for your escape from me, from us, from everything we built. Painful goodbye, you're the guilt that I'll carry forever. The what if and the why. Painful goodbye, you made me cry. Painful goodbye, you cut so deep. Painful goodbye, you made me weep for all the years we never had, for all the drove home in a daze that day. The streets were all a blur. I couldn't see through tears, I couldn't hear her. The radio played love songs, mocking my despair. Painful goodbye, you were everywhere. In the empty house, the empty bed, the empty space beside. Painful goodbye, you couldn't hide from me, from what you done, from what you left behind. Painful goodbye, you were some are worse than others. Some goodbyes are like losing sisters, losing fathers, losing mothers. Some goodbyes take a piece of you that you'll never get back. Painful goodbye, you're the crack in the foundation of my soul, the weakness in my spine. Painful goodbye, you're mine. But I'll survive. I'll find new love. I'm driving down this lonely highway, headlights cutting through the night, radio playing love songs. None of them are right, none of them can capture what I'm feeling in this car. Lonely highway, you're the scar that runs across the landscape of my life. Lonely highway, through the strife of rush hour traffic and the open road. Lonely highway, you've bestowed upon me miles and miles of thinking time. The white lines blur together as I speed toward nowhere. Lonely highway, you're the prayer I whisper every time I pass the exit to your town. Lonely highway, you break down my defenses mile by mile. Lonely highway, you're the trial I put myself through every week. Lonely highway, you're the creek that runs beside you, dry as dust. Lonely highway, and you I trust to take me where I need to go. Lonely highway, you know, I remember road trips with you, your hand upon my knee. Lonely highway, now I'm free, but freedom feels like loneliness at 70 miles per hour. Lonely highway, you have the power to make me feel so small and so alone. Lonely highway, you're the phone I wanna pick up, but I know I shouldn't call. Lonely highway, you're resistance. I feel the letting go is fading fast. Lonely highway, you last longer than this pain, longer than this ride. The exit signs all flash by, destinations I won't reach. Lonely highway, you teach me that the journey is its own reward. Lonely highway, I'm toward something I can't see yet, but I know it's there. Lonely highway, you're the prayer I whisper as I drive into the dawn. Lonely highway, you've drawn me closer to the person I'm becoming now. Lonely highway, I'll allow you to guide me home. Chicory grows along the roadside, blue against the gray. Chicory of chill, you're the day that follows every sleepless night. Chicory of chill, you're the light that catches me off guard when I'm not looking. Chicory of chill, you're the cooking I do to warm myself when you're not here. Chicory of chill, you're the fear that I'll never feel truly warm again. Your roots go deep, your heart to pull. Chicory of chill, you're full of bitterness and beauty all at once. Chicory of chill, you're the dunce cap of my emotions, the fool's gold of my grief. Chicory of chill, you're the leaf that turns toward the sun no matter what. Chicory of chill, you're the rut I've fallen into, but you're also the climb. Chicory of chill, you're the time that takes to heal from wounds that cut so deep. Coffee with your root, your taste of earth and time. Chicory of chill, you're the rhyme that doesn't quite fit, that's a little off. Chicory of chill, you're the cough that clears my lungs of all the dust I've breathed. Chicory of chill, you've seen and lets the sunlight through. You teach me that bitter and beautiful can't coexist. Chicory of chill, you're the twist in the story that I didn't see coming. Chicory of chill, you're the humming in my heart that won't stop, won't give up, won't quit. Chicory of chill, the metaphor for everything I feel. Chicory of chill, you're real in a way that nothing else has been. Chicory of chill, you're the win in the losing, the light in Chicory of chill, you're it. Chicory of chill, you're it. Chicory of chill, you're the wind in the losing the light in the chicory of chill, you're it. Elderberry event, you ripen in the late summer sun. Your dark clusters are one thing I look forward to when August comes round. Elderberry event, you found your way into my syrup, into my tea, into my heart. She used to make elderberry jam, she'd put it on the shelf. Elderberry, then I felt your absence in the pantry, in the kitchen, in my eyes. Elderberry event, the wife I thought I'd be forever with is gone. Elderberry event, you're the dawn of a new season, a new way of being alone. Elderberry event, I've grown to appreciate you even without her here. Elderberry event, you're the fear and the comfort all wrapped up in one dark berry. I make syrup now myself, following her recipe. Elderberry event, you're the key to keeping her alive in some small way. Elderberry event, I'll say thank you for connecting me to what we had. Elderberry event, you're not bad, you're just a reminder of a sweeter time. Elderberry event, the rhyme of your name echoes in my head all day. Elderberry event, you'll stay with me through every winter, every cold. You teach me that endings can also be beginnings too. Elderberry event, I'm through with seeing you as just a symbol of the past. Elderberry event, at last I understand that you're about the future too. Elderberry event, I'll brew you in a syrup and wine into my life. Elderberry event, through the strife of learning how to live without her here. Elderberry event, you're the year that stretches out before me, full of possibilities. game we play. Its parts burst open in the fall, releasing seeds to the wind. Milkweed of memory, you've been my companion through the seasons of my grief. The monarchs lay their eggs on you, they know just where to go. Milkweed of memory, you know. The transformation takes a while. Milkweed of memory, you smile through the wind and rain and blazing sun. Milkweed of memory of the know, who understands what it means to change. Milkweed of memory of the range of mountains I must wend to heal. Milkweed of memory, you're real in a way that memories can never be. I watch the seeds float on the breeze, so delicate and light. Milkweed of memory, you're the kite that carries hope across the sky. Milkweed of memory, you fly higher than my sorrow ever could, and letting go, it's setting free. To understanding that release is not defeat. Milkweed of memory, you're sweet and bitter all at once, just like the past. Milkweed of memory, you last through every storm, through every drought. Milkweed of memory, without you I'd have no anchor to the ground. The caterpillars eat your leaves, then form their chrysalis. Milkweed of memory, this is what I'm doing too, transforming in my time. Milkweed of memory, you're the rhyme that keeps me going, keeps me growing, keeps me strong. Milkweed of memory, you belong in every garden, every heart of learning how to let things be. Milkweed of memory, you're the key to my survival, my rebirth. feels red against the white, a beautiful and fragile show. It shouldn't have been there, not in that cold, not in that freeze. A thing of summer trying to survive in winter's breeze. I thought of us, I thought of you, I thought of how we tried to keep a love alive when everything else had died. We pushed against the season, we fought against the chill. But some things aren't meant to last, no matter how strong the will. The rose will wither by tomorrow, the frost will take its bloom. Just like you took your heart away, you left me in this room where winter lives forever now, where spring will never come. Winter rose, sad story of a love that's come undone. Winter rose, slow, blooming in the cold. Story of a love that couldn't grow. You were my summer, you were my sun. Now winter rose, sad, you're the only one who understands what it means to fight against the fading of the light. Winter rose, sad, we're the same, two things that love forgot to name. I water you with tears each day, I try to keep you warm, I shield you from the wind that blows. I try to weather every storm, but roses aren't meant for December, they're meant for April showers. And love isn't meant for endings, it's meant for building hours and hours and days and years of growing side by side. Not this lonely winter where we let each other hide. I should have been your summer, you should have been my spring, but we ended up as winter roses, not meaning anything. Winter rose, sad, I'll let you go back to the earth, back to the snow. You taught me that some beauty comes from things that winter has overrun. Goodbye, winter rose, sad. Winter rose, sad. Goodbye, winter rose, sad. Cold sheets burn against my skin when I climb into bed. Cold sheets burn. You said everything there is to say about sleeping alone. Cold sheets burn. I've known this feeling every night since you've been gone. They say that actions makes the heart grow fonder, but it makes the bed. Cold sheets burn. I bled a pillow through cold sheets burn in you. Used to warm these sheets with body heat and love. Cold sheets burn from above. I watch myself shiver in the dark. Cold sheets burn. You're the mark of every night I spent without you here. Cold sheets burn. You're the fear that I'll never be warm again. I'll never feel your heat. I try to warm them with a hot water bottle with an extra throw. Cold sheets burn. I know it's not the same, it's never quite the same. Cold sheets burn. I blame myself for every cold night I now face. Cold sheets burn in this place of loneliness and longing I survive. Cold sheets burn. I'm alive, but barely just holding on. Cold sheets burn. Since you've been gone, the bed has become a monument to cold. But cold sheets teach me that I am my own source of heat. Cold sheets burn. This cold eventually I'll learn to warm myself. Cold sheets burn. On the shelf of my experience, you're not all bad. Cold sheets burn, but I'm glad for the reminder that I'm still here, still feeling. Cold sheets burn. I'm healing in my own time, in my own way. Cold sheets burn. I'll say thank you for teaching me to generate my own warmth. I'm losing you all over again, but this time it's slow. This time it's the memories that are letting go. Your face is getting blurry now, your voice is getting faint. Fading memories, I'm ashamed of trying to hold on to every single one. But memories are meant to last, they're meant to come undone. They're meant to soften at the edges, meant to lose their sting. Fading memories, you're everything. And nothing all at once, you're the paradox of grief. Fading memories, you're the leaf that falls from the tree of my mind. Fading memories, you're unkind, but also kind, because the pain lessens every day. Fading memories are slipping through my fingers like the morning dew. still make out if I tried. I wrote down everything I could in journals by my bed. Every word you ever spoke, everything you said, every look, every touch, every single smile. Fading memories, mile by mile. I documented us like a historian of the heart. Fading memories, you're an art that I've been practicing for years. Fading memories through the tears. I've kept you alive, but now you're starting to fade. Fading memories, you're slipping through my fingers like the morning dew. Fading memories, you're almost gone. Fading memories, carry on. But maybe fading is a gift, maybe it's the way that hearts learn to heal and learn to say goodbye to what was, hello to what's new. Fading memories, I'm through with clinging to the past so tight. Fading memories, it's alright to let you go, to set you free. Fading memories, you'll always be a part of who I've come to be. Fading memories, I still see you in the corners of my mind. Fading memories, you were kind to stay as long as you could stay. Fading memories, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm on the floor again. The tile's cold against my skin. On the floor, where does one begin to pick up all the pieces of a shattered heart? On the floor, I've fallen apart so many times, I've lost count of the fall. This is where I end up when the grief becomes too much. On the floor, I clutch at nothing, at the air, at the memory of your touch. On the floor, it's too much and not enough all at the same time. On the floor, I'm trying to find a reason to get up, a reason to rise. On the floor with tired eyes, I stare at the ceiling and wonder why. On the floor, I cry until there are no tears left to cry. Bunnies gather round me like old friends. On the floor, the weekend stretches out before me, empty and long. On the floor, I sing a song that has no melody, no words, just pain. On the floor, I remain for hours, for days. I lose all track of time. On the floor, I'm in my prime of grieving, of feeling, but the floor is also where you learn to stand again. All on the floor, when will it end? It ends when I decide to rise. On the floor through tear-blurred eyes, I see a sliver of light beneath the door. On the floor, I'm not sure if I can make it to my feet. On the floor, I'll accept the defeat for now and rest here for a while. On the floor, I'll smile, because I know that getting up is part of the plan. My soul is blue, the color of the ocean on a cloudy day, the color of the bruises that won't fade away, the color of the bluebird that forgot how to sing. My soul is blue. Everything I see is filtered through this melancholy lens. My soul is blue. My friends, they try to cheer me up, they try to paint me gold, but my soul is blue. And I'm told that blue is just a color, it will pass, it will change. But right now blue is everything, blue is all I know. My soul is blue, the flow of tears that never seem to stop. My soul is blue, I drop into its depths and wonder if I'll ever see the sun. My soul is blue, the only one who understands is you, and you're not here. My soul is blue, the fear that I'll be blue forever, that this is who I am now. My soul is blue. Keep on swimming in this ocean of sorrow. I paint my room in shades of blue to match the way I feel. My soul is blue, it's real, in a way that happiness never was. My soul is blue because it's honest, it's authentic, it's not pretending to be fine. My soul is blue, I'm in decline and rising all at once. Some paradox. My soul is blue, the locks on all the doors I've closed are painted blue. My soul is blue, I'm through with trying to be anything but what I am. But blue is also the color of the sky at dawn. My soul is blue, I'm drawn to the possibility that blue can also mean the start. My soul is blue, my heart is learning that blue has many shades, many meanings. My soul is blue, and I'm leaning into it, letting it wash over me. My soul is blue, I'm free to feel exactly what I feel, no more, no less. My soul is blue, I bless this color that has become my home. gave you everything I had, my whole heart on a plate. I stayed up late, I worried, I accepted every fate. You handed me, I took it all, I never once complained. Wasted devotion, you feigned. I should've seen it early on, the signs were all there. The way you disappear for days without a single care. The way you never asked me how my own day went. Wasted devotion, it was spent on someone who was never really there. I gave you my youth, I gave you my years, I gave you my laughter, I gave you my tears. And what did I get in return? Wasted devotion, I had to learn the hard way, the only way you teach. Wasted devotion thrown away. Wasted devotion day by day. I poured my soul into a sieve. Wasted devotion, you would take and leave me empty, hollow, cold inside. Wasted devotion, I tried to hide from the truth that you were using me. Wasted devotion, now I see. My friends all try to warn me, they said he's not the one. But I was deaf and blind to them, I only saw the sun. That you pretended to be, the light you never were. Wasted devotion, a blur of red flags that I ignored for way too long. Wasted devotion, you were wrong for me and I was wrong for you. Wasted devotion, we were through before we ever really began. Wasted devotion, thrown away. Wasted devotion, day by day. I poured my soul into a sieve. Wasted devotion, you would take and leave. But here's the thing about devotion, even when it's wasted, it teaches you the value of the love that you have tasted. It teaches you what not to give, what not to accept. Wasted devotion, I kept giving when I should have stopped. Wasted devotion, I've dropped the burden of believing you deserve my own. Wasted devotion, I stand tall, knowing that my love is precious, not to be thrown away. Wasted devotion, I'll find a way to give it to someone who gives it back. 42 eucalyptus bend, you wrapping around me like a shroud. I peel and strip apart from you, so papery and thin, just like the love we had back then. So fragile, couldn't win against the elements, the storms, the drought. Eucalyptus orange, without a doubt you'll shed your skin and goodbye. You teach me that to shed is not to lose. You teach me that the end is just to choose a different path, a different way. Eucalyptus of land, I'll say thank you for the beauty and the pain. Eucalyptus of land, the rain will wash away the old and bring the new. Eucalyptus of end, I'll make it through just like you do, year after year. Eucalyptus of end, you're here, and so am I, and we'll both grow. Eucalyptus of end, the rain will wash away the old and bring the new. Eucalyptus of end, I'll make it through just like you do, year after year. Eucalyptus of end, you're here, and so am I, and we'll both grow. Eucalyptus of we wrote her in before we even knew we'd begun. Every fight, every silence, every setting sun that witnessed us fall apart piece by piece. We wrote our end, and we never found release. From the story we were crafting with our own two hands, we wrote our end in the sand and watched the tide wash it away. We wrote our end day by day in the words we chose and the words we didn't say. The pen was in our hands, the paper was our hearts. We wrote our end from the start with every doubt we didn't voice. We wrote our end, we made the choice to let the story write itself instead of us. We wrote our end in the dust of all the dreams we let dissolve. We wrote our end, we couldn't solve the mystery of how to make it last. We wrote our end, the die was cast before we even knew we were in a play. I go back and read the chapters, the ones we wrote together. We wrote our end in the weather of every storm we didn't weather well. We ran, we fell into the trap of thinking love was easy, love was light. We wrote our end in the night when we chose sleep over conversation. We wrote our end, the foundation was cracking long before we saw the signs. We wrote Before we even reached the final page, we wrote our end. We couldn't assuage the growing distance between you and me. But here's the thing about endings, they're not really the end. We wrote our end, my friend. But we also wrote the middle, we wrote the start. We wrote our end, but the heart remembers all the beautiful parts too. We wrote our end, but I'm through with letting that be you. Let's see, we wrote our end, but you and me, we wrote so much more than just goodbye. We wrote our end, but I'll still try to remember all the words that came before. Laying high, you hang your pink and white tears on a string. Bleeding heart, you sing the song of every lover who is loved and lost. Bleeding heart, you've caused me tears just looking at you, remembering her. Your flowers look like broken hearts pierced through and through. Bleeding heart, you knew before I did that love would end this way. Bleeding heart, you're the ray of beauty in the darkness of my grief. Bleeding heart, you're the leaf that falls and fertilizes next year's growth. Bleeding heart, I'm both broken and healing just like you. Bleeding heart, it's true that bleeding is just part of being alive. I planted you the spring after she walked away. Bleeding heart, you'll stay with me forever, a living monument to pay. Bleeding heart, the rain that falls on you is mixed with tears I've cried. Bleeding heart, you've been my guide through seasons of sorrow, through years of loss. Bleeding heart, you're the cross I bear with beauty, with dignity. Bleeding heart, you're the key to understanding that my bleeding heart will heal. You teach me that bleeding is not weakness, it's just life. Bleeding heart, through the strife of every day without her, you remain. Bleeding heart, you sustained me more than you will ever know. Bleeding heart, you help me grow through the cracks in my own broken heart. Bleeding heart, you're the art bleeding heart, you remain with me forever, bleeding beautiful and strong. Bee balm of bitter, you attract the hummingbirds with your red. Bee balm of bitter, you said more to me than many flowers. You're good. That reminded me that sweetness and bitterness coexist. Your leaves smell like bergamot, like Earl Grey tea. Bee balm of bitter, you're the key to understanding that I can be bitter and still attract. Bee balm of bitter, that's a fact. The hummingbirds don't care about my mood. Bee balm of bitter, you're the food for creatures who see only your bright red flowers. Bee balm of bitter, for hours I sit and watch them come and go. Bee balm of bitter, you know that life goes on even when I'm bitter inside. I make tea from your leaves when I need to taste my grief. Bee balm of bitter, relief is not what you provide, but comfort, yes. Bee balm of bitter, you're the dress I wear when I wanna hide my bitterness from the world. Bee balm of bitter, unfurled in my garden, you're a splash of color in the gray. Bee balm of bitter, you're the way I cope with all the bitterness I feel. Bee balm of bitter, you're real in a way that my pretending isn't. You teach me that bitter can be beautiful, can be bright. Bee balm of bitter, the light you bring is not the light of joy, but of survival. Bee balm of bitter, the rival of despair is you, standing tall and red. Bee balm of bitter, you said enough to last me through another year. Bee balm of bitter, you're here when nothing else can understand my mood. Bee balm of bitter, you're the food for my soul, for my bitter healing heart. We stood there in the driveway like two strangers in the rain. The same rain that had witnessed us fall in love again and again. suitcase by your feet, my heart upon the ground. The silence was so heavy, it was the only sound. You didn't even look at me when you opened up the door. You just climbed inside your car like you'd done this all before. The engine coughed to life, and then you backed out of the drive. I watched the taillights disappear and felt something die inside. No dramatic movie ending, no speech about the cost, just a quiet bit of farewell and everything we lost. No tears upon your face, no hesitation in your hands. Just a woman leaving like she made her final plans. Bitter farewell, you taste like medicine I didn't wanna take. Bitter farewell, you're the silence after every heart can break. You're the door that closes softly but still echoes through the hall. Bitter farewell, you're the loneliest goodbye of all. I'm standing in the driveway, watching nothing but the dark. Bitter farewell, you left your mark. I found a note upon the kitchen counter the next day, just a few short words that didn't have that much to say. I'm sorry and take care, and I hope you understand. Like you could summarize 5 years like footprints in the sand. I folded it and put it in the pocket of my coat, a tiny piece of paper holding everything you wrote. The last communication from the one I love the most, a bitter farewell written on a simple paper ghost. Bitter farewell, you taste like medicine I didn't wanna take. Bitter farewell, you're the silence after every heart can break. You're the door that closes softly but still echoes through the hall. Bitter farewell, you're the loneliest goodbye of all. Maybe farewells are never sweet no matter how they come. Maybe leaving always leaves a taste that leaves you numb. But I learned to swallow bitterness, I learned to let it pass. I learned that some farewells are made of broken glass. Bitter farewell, I'm letting you dissolve upon my tongue. Bitter farewell, the hardest song I've ever had to sing. But even bitterness can fade when you finally understand that some farewells are just the opening to something new. I cleaned out my closet today, found a box behind my shoes, full of things I couldn't bear to look at, full of things I couldn't use. Your old t-shirt that I slipped in, the one that smelled like you, the ticket stub from that concert, a photograph or two. I sat there on the bedroom floor, surrounded by our past, wondering how something so beautiful could go so fast. Each item held a story, each story held a sting, bitter memories of everything that used to be mine. They say the time will sweeten even the bitterest of pills, but these memories taste like medicine for every kind of ill. The kind that makes you better even as it makes you choke. The kind that saved your life but leaves you feeling like you're broke. Bitter memories on my tongue of all the songs we never sung. Bitter memories of your face in every corner of this place. I try to swallow, try to keep them down, but bitter memories always come around, reminding me of what I lost and what that leaving really cost. I fought about burning everything, letting it all go up in smoke, letting the fire take the past, letting the ashes be the joke. That love became, that we became, that I became without you. But something stopped my hand because I knew that wasn't true. The past deserves a witness, even when the past is pain, even when the sun doesn't shine, even when it's only rain. So I put the box back in the closet, close the door real slow. Bitter memories, you're part of me, whether I want you or no. Bitter memories on my tongue of all the songs we never sung. Bitter memories of your face in every corner of this place. Maybe one day these memories won't taste so bitter anymore. Maybe one day they'll taste like lessons learned, like wisdom for the war. Of holding and of letting go. Maybe one day these bitter memories will be the seeds that grow. Bitter memories, I'll keep you there in the closet, in the care of the woman I'm becoming now, who's learning how to taste the bitter and still feel alive. Bitter memories, you helped me survive. Bitter memories, you helped me survive. Our love is like an old t-shirt, washed too many times. The color's faded, the fabric's thin, it lost its original line. It still fits but barely as comfortable. Worn out love, you've been torn and mended and torn again so many times. chains are coming loose now. I can see right through. Worn out love, what do we do? What we have is too familiar to excite. Worn out love, we fight the same fights, say the same things, feel the same pain. Worn out love, we can't sustain the weight of all those years, all those tears. Worn out love, the fears that we've outgrown each other, that we've changed. Worn out love, we're estranged from the people we were when we began. I look at you across the table, and I don't know who you are. Worn out love, we've traveled far from the starting line, from the innocence. Worn out love, the evidence is in the silences that stretch too long. Worn out love, the song we used to sing together has gone flat. Worn out love, and that's that. Worn out love, we can't go back to the beginning, to the start. Worn out love, the heart that once beat only for you now beats for itself. Worn out love, I'm putting it on the shelf. But worn out things of value, they've been through the wars. Worn out love, you're the scars that prove we tried, that prove we care. Worn out love, we've dared to stay long after staying, stop making sense. Worn out love, my defense is that I gave you everything I had. Worn out love, I'm not sad. I'm just tired, I'm just done. Worn out love, you were the one, but now you're not, and that's okay. We planted an acorn together in the yard. The day we moved in, the day wasn't hard. We said it would grow with our love, tall and strong. Acorn of ache, we were so wrong. The oak tree is towering now, reaching the sky. But you're not here to see it. You said goodbye before we could witness what we could become. Acorn of ache, you're numb. I visit it sometimes, I touch its bark. I think about us in the light and the dark, how something so small could grow so immense. Acorn of ache with no defense. Acorn of ache, you grew despite the lack of love, the lack of light. You put down roots, you reach for sun. Acorn of ache, you're the only one who stayed with me through everything. Acorn of ache, you're remembering what we were children now, they bury them deep. New oaks will rise while I still weep for what could have been, for what never will. Acorn of ache, standing still in the middle of my changing world, my shifting ground. Acorn of ache, you're the only sound of constancy, of permanence. Acorn of ache, with no pretense. Acorn of ache, you grew despite the lack of love, the lack of light. You put down roots, you reach for sun. Acorn of ache, you're the only one. Maybe I'm like you, acorn of ache. Maybe I'll grow for old time's sake. Maybe I'll put down roots so deep, the promises I'll always keep to myself, to my future, to the woman I'll become. Acorn of ache, you're not numb. Acorn of ache, you give me hope that I can grow, that I can cope with all the loss, with all the pain. Acorn of ache, I'll rise again, just like you, just like you. The forsythia blooms yellow in the early spring, a burst of color, such a joyful thing. But for me it brings a fear that grips my heart. Forsythia of fear, you tear me a part of the year when you appear. Forsythia of fear, you're here to remind me that she left in spring. Forsythia of fear, you bring back all the memories I've tried to bury deep. Your branches arch with blossoms bright. Forsythia of fear, you're the light that exposes every shadow in my soul. Forsythia of fear, you take your toll on my peace of mind, on my fragile calm. Forsythia of fear, your balm is not enough to ease the ache. Forsythia of fear, you make me wanna hide until you fade. Forsythia of fear, you've made a prisoner of my own memory. Forsythia of fear, you see me at my weakest, most afraid. Forsythia of fear, you've played your part in my undoing every year. I should gem some branches, bring them inside. Forsythia of fear, I've tried to see you as a symbol of hope reborn. Forsythia of fear, I'm torn between the beauty and the pain you represent. Forsythia of fear, I'm spent from fighting off the memories you evoke. Forsythia is here. Forsythia of fear, I'm bold enough to face what you